Hello, folks. This video was not planned, but I wanted to not so much vent, but discuss something that has occurred to me, and I'm sure to you as well, where you have had to fill out a form or read a set of instructions, and either immediately or as you got into the weeds of it, you thought to yourself, did someone who actually knows about this write this? And then also, okay, if they didn't, did anyone else look over it and go, actually, no, the phrasing there is the old phrase. We don't use that anymore. Don't use that term anymore. Or just that's confusing because, and whether they explain it to the original, the first person that wrote to begin with or not, they just said, well, I'm just here to do the edits and make sure it's correct to do that before it gets sent out the door. How many times have you had to fill a form or read instructions and you went, yeah, they didn't know what they were doing, or maybe they're a trainee, for instance. So I'm here filling out an outpatient psychiatry center form. It's called a therapy screener. Now it reads sort of like a generic screener, so I can understand some things not being quite um, preferred in the way they're worded. But then there are options you can select that then bring drop down items, which are more specific to the things I'm looking to have evaluated and receive therapy for. Those items, when selected, should then, we go down the menu tree, that should then help tailor the form and the phrasing. For instance, coming down the list, well, starting on here, they tell you about how it's a therapy screener and the purpose for it and the time limit in which you must respond, or else they think that you found help other way, elsewhere, or that you no longer want help. Okay, I get it. Their waiting list and the emergency contact numbers. But going down the list, you start off with the date. Good, nice and easy. Are you still interested in receiving this therapy? Yes or no? Okay. But then the trouble starts because it asks for things like your first and last name, which for a general form, that would be your government ID, your legal name. Okay. But given what I'm going for, I immediately have the question of, do you want my legal name or the preferred name that we've discussed that I was told over the phone is what we put down that everyone would see, not just preferred names and pronouns and such, but that every person who'd interact with me, even from like security, from check-in, any doctors, personnel, they'd all use a different name, the preferred name given, and the pronouns, etc. So it's not so much I care about what name I put personally. It's more just which one are you wanting. Now I'm going to default to my government ID name to keep things simple, but then I'm also looking to get an autism diagnosis, so that the autistic part of my brain goes, yeah, but they've already told you over the phone, and we're very clear, but everyone's going to address you by this other identity, shall we say. So if I use my government name, does that make it more confusing? Well, no, of course not, because they have your government name on file. So why would that? Right? So we're starting off with confusion and delay. Next item is date of birth. That's easy. Preferred email, no problem. Number, race. Okay. Then we go back to the confusing part, gender, and then what are your pronouns? Well, pronouns, I figure they want what I prefer, what folks around my friends and I would use. Okay, so I can do that one. But gender, yet again, do you want my legal gender? Do you want the one I identify with? It doesn't say preferred gender, it just says gender. So I'm not sure what to put. Am I overcomplicating this? Or did somebody not think this through? I need someone who, whoever wrote this didn't work with a medical professional to add these little details in the drop menu to go, well, if they click this, then this other part needs to be altered to say, say preferred X instead of just X. Is a lack of communication. Coming on down, the outpatient psychiatry center practice takes a goal-focused approach to psychotherapy. Please briefly tell us your primary concerns and your goals you'd like to address in psychotherapy. Okay, that one was easy. I don't know if they'll be able to address autism at some point, so I put down the thing that I had talked to them about on the phone and previous emails. And then I added autism as a separate item at the very end, just and also like help with exploring the autism. Maybe they have a way of helping me there or not, but just adding it on. Okay. Penn is proud to offer therapy providers competence in LGBTQ plus care. Would you like to self-identify as being part of the community? Yes or no? That can help them. Okay. Feel free to share any information for your provider regarding your rainbow identity, I'll say. Okay, I'm not like what sexuality, that I'm a furry. Okay, I put that down. I'm not sure what else to put. I'm figuring this stuff out. I'm still having that Boy Scout versus crossdresser debate, if you will. So moving on down. Then to bring up terms I've never heard before, states Penn is proud to offer research support treatments for post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay, PTSD, I've got an idea about that, including, though, prolonged exposure, PE, for PTSD, and cognitive processing therapy, CPT, for PTSD. Would you like to receive one of these specific research-tested therapies for PTSD? Oof. How many more letters in the alphabet are we going to throw in on this rainbow soup? They've got little links to pages on the Penn Medicine website for what is PE? Click here. What is CPT? Click here. But it's a bunch of $4 words, no actual explanation. I'm left more confused than I was initially. And I go, this is an intake form. If you're gotten to a math class and on like day 1, day 2, you go, oh, hell, I'm in the wrong class. This first, second day, and I have no idea what's going on. I looked at the links. I click yes, because if I put no, I might find out I've screwed myself out of something that would have been helpful. So I'm going to put yes because of FOMO, fear of missing out. In this case, I was thinking fun, but something that might be necessary, might be helpful for me. So I'll click yes. And hopefully they discuss it further with me, and I could always be like, oh, actually, on second thought, I wasn't fully understanding that. I will decline that because I don't think I need it, and I don't want to take away from someone else who does need it, right? The whole, whether you pay out of pocket for healthcare or whole insurance, whether it's single provider healthcare, that whole debate, I've got my own feelings on it. Without getting political, if we have resources that are free, they're not free, I know, or subsidized, based on how much you earn, etc., whatever it is, they're there for the community at large. If you determine you don't need the thing, then don't be an a-hole and take it from folks that possibly do, because there'll be folks that will take anything they can get just to waste time, I know, but don't try to be one of those people. That's not cool. Help the doctors and anyone else that are providing services out. So it's asking which ones like to be offered. Okay, I'm open to both, either. Then it gets into OCD, no. And it's CBT, cognitive behavior therapy for insomnia. I didn't know that was a thing. I knew like insomnia could be just you're an insomniac, it's genetic, you're screwed, or it's genetic and there's things that can help you, which may or may not be helped by I think it's the other CBD, the oils, right? Oh, you're not a pothead, you're just doing these oils on the tongue, and it's again not going to get into that there. Or it's a matter of you need to put the phone away. You need to not look at that phone for the 30, 60 minutes before you get into bed. And once you're in bed, that's it. Unless you check your alarm is set for work or whatever you have to do important the next day, you put the phone away. It's on do not disturb possibly. Sometimes that's all you can really do. And then you have the indigestion form of insomnia. And this is me being ignorant on the matter. Like, I don't know if I actually have insomnia or not. It could just be the my autism and undiagnosed autism and ADHD having a war, and they don't shut the fuck up at night. So I don't know if it's that or maybe also insomnia. Let's see. Are you looking for therapy or address substance use concerns? I don't think you're all gonna help me with my model train addiction. Autism. Would enrolling in a group therapy meet your need for therapy services? Um, I thought you all were the medical professionals. I don't know. I'm not an alcoholic. I've never been to AA, so I'm trying to think what other group session for therapy is commonly held that I would have had my life prior to this reasonably for me to go, well, over in this other instance, group therapy helped. I have no basis for that. So I'm not sure what to put there either. Right now, I put no. I'm going to try going one on one. Another case of you are the medical professional. How would I know this? Ideally, approximately how long would you like to receive psychotherapy? This will assist us in matching you to a therapist and helping your therapist develop your treatment plan. Regardless of your selection, your therapist will discuss your preferences with you. Okay, we got 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, or more than a year. Putting 9 to 12 right now because I figure if they can't fix me within a year, I'm just a broken toy, and I don't know what I'm going to do at that point. Because, we are getting towards the end, don't worry. Which of the following psychotherapy options are you interested in? Check all that may apply. Okay, we have individual psychotherapy. That's an easy choice. Group. Fine, I'll try it, I guess. Cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT. Again, I'm not quite sure what it is, but if I have autism and ADHD, that's a cognitive disability as it's currently classified, right? It's a brain disability. So cognitive behavior therapy, folks with autism are known for having quirky behavior. So I guess I'll spin the big wheel. Let's see what happens, right? We'll just load the buffet. Going down to prolonged exposure therapy for PTSD, exposure therapy for OCD, exposure therapy for anxiety disorders. Well, I don't have OCD, otherwise my apartment would actually be clean. I know that's not all. Like if you go to someone else's place and it's compulsion to clean, like for me it is. It's OCD, but you're helping other folks and not yourself. It's a useless form of OCD unless you're getting paid or otherwise compensated for it, right? Or you make a really good friend out of it. I mean, if you're going to someone's place and you're cleaning it and they don't stop you, I think you're already a friend. Or they're like, I really suck at cleaning my place up, and this person's just doing it, and they appear to be doing a good job. So I'm just going to awkwardly move over to the corner here and wait for this to pan out. I wonder if I scared people with that. I mean, the places were pretty bad. Like I couldn't find a place to sit. I couldn't walk. You're like, okay, you've invited me here. I need to be able to get through here without tripping and breaking my neck. So then you dig into cleaning and somehow don't deal with the awkwardness and try to carry on like everything's normal. What do you do in that situation? Another thing they don't teach you in school. Okay. Psychodynamic therapy. No idea what that is. DBT. I've heard of DDT, but that's outlawed now. It's with a pesticide. They still use it in Mexico. So if you buy any produce in American stores from Mexico, you still be ingesting that. See, random story time. Autism. Support group. Yeah, sure. Let's try transgender support group, autism support group. We'll see what the hell happens there. Notice, I'm not sure. Well, I'm not idiocracy, and I'm not running for president. If you get the reference, fantastic. That's we have highly skilled trainees available to provide psychotherapy. So kind of like when you go to the like a barber school, I guess. Benefits to this include potentially shorter wait time and in some cases a reduced fee if you're paying out of pocket. Yeah, money's a problem, and the students I would hope are supervised. Oh, sure, let's give that a whirl, help someone else out. They define the students, what degrees they hold, or if they're an intern, etc. That part's actually explained decently. Do you have a preference for in person or virtual therapy? In person. Not that like it's not as though I'm going to look in the eye that well, but in person seems better. Where if there's a misunderstanding, it's easier to correct. Even if you're virtual, you can see the person, you can hear them. There's a delay. The audio, the picture quality might not be good enough, and you miss a word, you miss something to do with the face, which you need every bit of information you can get if you're on the autism spectrum in order to not put your foot in your mouth or miss something important. So I'll schlep there in person and go about that way. Are you interested in being contacted by Penn Psychiatry regarding opportunities to participate in research being conducted at Penn? Is it related to me or okay, I'll put yes. And then lastly, please let us know if there's anything else that would be helpful. Again, I'm drawing a blank in the moment. So not too bad. I've had far worse forms to fill out, whether it be digital or print out, say on a clipboard, or set of instructions for putting something together, or how to perform an action. But that is this edition of Who Wrote This medical intake form. Because you're left with the impression of this is something written by medical professionals. They're supposed to make it as straightforward as possible so that you can go through and select yes, no, all of the above, whatever the case may be, and it not become this scavenger hunt for research. Everything you need should be there or a quick link, which they attempted to do on some things, but the pages they linked to did not help one bit, which leaves you further frustrated, annoyed, not feeling as hopeful that this place will give you the help that you are coming to them for. And when you're looking for months or years on end, you finally find a place or two that respond to your email, they give you a phone call, and you're feeling better. And then you get this, and you go, "Oh shoot!" It may not be serious, but it starts giving you those doubts, starts messing with your mind, your emotions, not putting you in a good place. And for those folks out there who they either didn't know they needed some sort of help or they knew that they needed help, but it wasn't the right time for whatever reason, or they thought they'd figured out on their own, they could afford it, blah blah blah, and you're finally making some sort of progress. Things like these can really make you stumble backwards a bit, and you start going, okay, well, what's my plan B if this doesn't work out? What's plan C? Because there haven't been many options. Like in my case, I'm in Philadelphia, the sixth largest city in the nation, and unrelated detail, but when many of the restaurants, any tourist destinations, and they close by 5, 6 p.m. because of crime, lack of police enforcement from the DA, you think, oh man, this place is known for their pride parades, lots of gay stuff going on. There should be nightclubs. There should be a place to go dancing. And then you go, where's everybody going to have fun? Oh, you gotta go like 2.5 hours to New York City. Really? In Philadelphia, you can't go out dancing? You don't really have, I mean, other than a couple of big events a year, you don't have a place to regularly go and have fun and meet like minded people to ask questions or just unwind. That's been a, I mean, the gay items aside, that's a problem we've had across the whole country is the lack of the third place. The first place is your home, second is work, third place is the library, the park, the dance club, somewhere you can go locally, either free or very affordably. You can at least go, say, once a week and go exercise those demons, go release some stress, meet folks, have a good time, and not go postal. It's your social safety valve. Same thing like these social services. I still have my opinions about a lot of these places, but you do have quite a few good intentioned people, at least, trying to help others. You have people who are, as those on the right will say, oh, they're confused. Okay, well, if someone's confused about how to do something, and they come to you or they already ask generally, man, I'm confused about this thing, how it works or how to do it, where to go. I'd like to get some help. Oh, I'm trying to decide. Like if your spouse asking you, hey, should I wear this outfit or this outfit? You don't say, oh, you're confused, you need medication, you or wacko. You go, okay, you are having this problem, you recognize it, you're trying to get some help. So whether or not you believe that one of the options for help is valid, if you at least believe that the people giving or offering help are professionals and aren't, and I understand this, there's some bad apples. Okay, there are folks who will try to, just like some of the bad mechanics, will try and shove you getting repairs you don't need. Right? There are bad doctors, etc., that'll say, "Oh, you're definitely this or that," and of course, it's the expensive, time-consuming option that could really wreck your life if they're, if it's wrong. I get that. You have to do your due diligence, of course, but can we assume for a moment that most professionals have professional standards? That they're not trying to intentionally hurt you. They can be mistaken about something. So always get a second opinion, always do your own research. Doesn't mean you're going to know more than them, but you might catch a mistake. You might say, wait, use this term, or you said X was Y, but really X is Z. And then you go, oh, I was tired that day. You are correct. I misspoke. Okay, mistakes happen. So you always have to do your own research, get your second opinions, try to get the best first opinion you can. It's not a throwaway slot. But we do also need to push folks to do better. So like here, I'm doing this video. I was reading through it. I know it's long, over 23 minutes now. But if you've had some example and you can just pull it up, whether it's print or like here, I have it as a tab on my laptop, pull it up, discuss it. Maybe someone can respond to comments and go, this is what they meant. Or, yeah, that does seem rather vague. That is confusing. Get a little consensus going. Maybe we can push back on different industries and get these things improved, if not fixed. That's all we can really do, right? If you have a problem, discuss it. Say, I'm confused. I'd like a hand. You might get a bunch of Redditors with good opinions or bad. You might get folks from that field who can explain it better or realize, oh, that isn't clear to you. Okay. If they don't say it out loud, they might go back to their job, their boss, and say, I noticed on this video or this Reddit thread, people are confused about this term, this phrase, this set of instructions that's commonly used by us or, competitors. Maybe we need to fix that. Maybe they honestly don't know that they're being obtuse or confusing, right? You can't be upset if you haven't at least told them once before, right? And I think that's a good lesson for general life with your friends, family, coworkers. You can't be thinking, well, obviously they know if you haven't at least told them.